We're here filming part 2 of our search for the elder Chaga horn. We actually know where he is this time, so we're not searching, but we ended up deciding that the most important thing to do is probably to leave this Chaga horn. It really is the biggest one that we've ever seen, and it's important for it to get the chance to produce spores and reproduce. So we've decided every season here we're actually going to come back and just check in on him, maybe give him some gifts and let him know we appreciate him and appreciate him allowing us to harvest his extended family, and he's been very good to us. So we're gonna go say hi, see what he's up to, and hopefully he's still going strong.
So have you noticed, like, collecting chaga and going around the woods looking for it, like, is there a certain side of the tree that it grows on, or is there a certain like area where you can kind of see and sense like there's going to be chaga here?
Well, there's not really a certain side of the tree. I know that's something I was really interested in figuring out in the beginning. What is important, this is a really useful feature, is this little stream here. When you have well irrigated areas in the forest with a lot of old big birch trees, which you can tell just by looking around we have here, then you know you're in a good spot. And probably the biggest way to really tell that you're in a good spot is if you actually find one piece of chaga, because if you find one piece of chaga, the spores got there somehow. There's going to be more. So even if you don't see it somewhere throughout that same forest, you're going to have active chaga growing or beginning or at the end of its life somewhere. So we're also located near a couple ponds here. This is in between two ponds that the stream runs through. So that, again, that well irrigated moisture, even in the mornings, on a cold morning, if we don't have rain, there will be fog and there will be a lot of humidity, which is extremely important for the growth of mushrooms and fungi. Chaga horn. Look at that. This is dead reishi from last year. If you're a mushroom forager, it's important to identify these opportunities where you can actually help the organism spread spores. All this powder on these mushrooms are actually reishi spores. So it's important to differentiate the fact that a mushroom and a fungus are a little bit different. A mushroom is just the reproductive organ of a fungus. The fungus lives in here. We can't see him and we can't perceive him. But when you pick a mushroom, the fungus is going to be just fine. That said, it is important to wait until those mushrooms mature and do their job so you can pick them and actually help spread them throughout the forest. You know, a lot of people think that mushroom harvesting will kill the organism. That's not the case. I would argue that the reason reishi is so bright red and beautiful may actually be to draw our attention. And, you know, humans often think that the only thing we can do is be destructive in nature, but I really think this is an example of where we may have a symbiotic relationship, at least have the chance to make it symbiotic by being patient and working with the animal. So we'll pick this, and if we see any fallen hemlock trees along our journey today, we're gonna spread this all over the hemlock, and hopefully these spores can form a new reishi fungus to decompose that hemlock tree and produce more reishi in the future. It's like a blanket. All that I'm doing here is trying to get the reishi spores to, get colonizing this tree. So I thought it might be a little more impactful if we really wipe the spores off and give them a head start. Chaga in the sky, won't you come down for me? There it is. We found him. We can see him in all his glory now that there's no snow. He feels closer than he was before.
Yeah,
Doesn't he?
it does look a lot closer.
I don't know why. Well, might as well at least see if I was right that I could climb this tree in the summertime. This will be either a triumphant moment or a sign of age. We'll see.
This is going to be the sitting gallery for people to come and see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a trip out here for people is definitely...
Is it raining? It's water. I got hit.
A little Adirondack shower. And one day it will produce a ton of spores, and we will try to be here for when that happens. So if there's anything I can ask of this chaga, I would just ask that you make me aware when you're ready. When you're ready to drop those spores, give me a sign and I will come here and I will harvest you so that you can be shared to help heal people around the world, and I will take your spores and I will spread them. And I appreciate everything you've done for me, and I hope that you continue to do so. Thank you. Amen. Cool. And drop.
All right.
Thank you. There you go. That's how you get a camera back.
Well, I got a much closer look at the chaga being up there. Sometimes that's really one of the only ways to harvest a piece of chaga like this one. So you really have to work for it. It's almost like the best pieces of chaga present challenges that only the most worthy harvesters are going to be able to conquer. At least I like to believe that. Give him some tobacco like I had planned. And I'm just doing that because that's what I've been advised by people who are the original inhabitants of this land, the Haudenosaunee. So I got some tobacco from the res up at Akwesasne, and we're gonna put it right at the base of this tree. Look at this. Two little pieces. It's almost like he knew we were coming. Or maybe we knocked that off last time we were here. I don't know. But in return, we're gonna thank you with tobacco, and I hope that you appreciate it. Let's brew some tea. Sustainable, wild, functional fungi. This is just a unique glimpse where the bark has been peeled off and you can actually see the mycelia and the quote-unquote fungus that lives within these trees. And every tree that falls in the woods decomposes. And what a lot of people don't realize is that it's all fungi that decompose these trees. So there's a fungus that comes in, right at the first stage to start decomposing for a few years, and then when that goes out, another fungus will come in and take over from there. And each tree has a different range of fungi that are going to host on it. All these healing mushrooms are made from tree destroying fungi, wood decomposing mushrooms. So this is just kind of cool. It's rare that you get to see this network of mycelium that's very similar really to a neural network in the brain of the fungus.